Hey team, hope you're doing well. Today's topic, I want to go over a question that one of my subscribers had asked me, and that's in regards to tapering. His question was, right now I'm running 10:32 for 3,200 meters as a freshman in high school, and I have a big upcoming race. What would you do if you only have 2 weeks until the big race? And in terms of tapering, what does taper mean for runners? Tapering basically means you're backing off all of those months of hard aerobic and anaerobic training, and you're allowing your body to adapt. There is a philosophy called supercompensation. It's when you're immediately after a hard workout, you're about 2 to 3 times weaker than you were prior to the start of that workout. But as long as you give yourself sufficient time to recover and you back off your training, you jog for a few days, you adapt to that training. And the idea of supercompensation really goes into also when you taper down for your goal race. Okay, you've spent several weeks and several months preparing. Now is the time and to not only back off all of that hard anaerobic work, but and allow your body to rest. Now, one of the most difficult parts of tapering is we often as athletes feel like we're getting out of shape and we're not going to be prepared going into that big race because we're backing off the intensity and the volume that we've spent several weeks and several months leading into our goal race doing. But in this idea, you're less is more. Okay, so you're going to do far more benefit by backing off if you've properly trained correctly going into your main race. And this question of what I would do in the last 2 weeks leading into my big race, the things that I did over the years was I did my very best to just stay calm and stay confident in my training. I did a few maintenance type workouts. If I was doing a 2 mile leading into a final 3,200 meter, and if I was still in high school, really I would just focus on some light maintenance workouts, maybe some repeat 400s on the track, repeat 300s, repeat 200s, nothing really very extensive in terms of volume. I would really just focus on my leg turnover, just doing some repeat 800s, maybe 2 1 mile repetitions about 4 to 5 days leading into that 3,200 meter event at goal race pace or slightly faster than goal race pace. And most importantly, I would focus on getting plenty of sleep. If you're going into a race, don't focus on how much sleep you're getting the night before. Of course, it's very important to try to do your very best to get as much sleep as you can the night before a race. But what's critical is getting enough rest the week leading into your goal races. Okay, so it's very hard the night before a race anyways to fall asleep. A lot of us get very hyped up and we're trying to visualize our race, and because we're really excited about the next day's race, and so a lot of times we can't always fall asleep. Now, a lot of you may be just great sleepers and can fall asleep immediately. My strategy was always to try to get as much sleep as I could leading into the week of the race. Okay, so several days before my track races, my road races, or marathons, and these longer races that I've run over the years. So that's another thing that I would do, Dylan, in terms of what I would do leading up to the last 2 weeks of a big race. I would really focus also on my nutrition. I would continue to visualize whatever goal time I was going for. I mean, when I was in high school, college, and running as a professional on the roads, I always spent a lot of time in mental training, spending about 10 to 15 minutes a day religiously. I mean, I was very strict with mental training because I think so much of us, we focus so much of our attention on physical preparation and we don't spend so much on what's equally as important, which is your mental preparation. You have to see yourself going after that goal time you're going after, whether it's on the track or on the roads, or if you have another goal in mind, seeing yourself lighter, more fit, passing people in the race, getting across the finish line in the goal time that you're going after. You have to see that in your mind and train your mind like you train your body. Okay, we can't just spend all of our efforts and all of our time training physically when the world's top middle to long distance runners also spend a high amount of their time training mentally as well. So obviously mental training, that's definitely what I would be doing, Dylan. Not just spending all of my attention on physical training. I would also, I always tried my very best just to relax in the last couple weeks leading into a big race. Again, there's really not a lot you can do um, in the days leading into a big race. Okay, you really just have to focus on some short maintenance workouts, dropping your volume about 50 to 60% 2 weeks out from your goal race, and then the week of the race, you're doing very minimal work. Just a few miles, few kilometers each day. Might take a day off the day before the race, or 2 days before the race, and just jogging and doing some strides, maybe some 4 to 5 100-meter strides before your race, the day before the race, and then the day of the race prior to the start of your goal race. And another thing I want you all to keep in mind, especially if you're in high school and you're or in college, just really monitor how fast you're going out in these races. Okay, that's a big mistake I made, especially in high school. I was trying to run far too aggressive in the first lap of my 1600-meter races, and even especially in the 1600-meter, because I was really going for a sub 4-minute 1600-meter time, and I just didn't have that type of leg speed. I finished my high school career with a 4-minute and 25-second 1600-meter time, but I would be going out that first 400 around 60 to 61 seconds, which is just will really, can really hinder your time in the last couple laps if you don't watch your pacing early in the early stages of the race. In your case, Dylan, with the 3200 meter, it's the same situation. You just have to really be as relaxed as you can, get out fast, but not go out so fast in the first 1600 meters that you just drastically drop off the pace in the last 1600 meters. So it's also really important in the last 2 weeks of your race that you do drop your volume considerably, but you still want to remind your legs with a few last minute shorter workouts, like some repeat 300s on the track, repeat 400s with full recovery. Maybe that's 400 meters. And if you're, say, trying to break a 5-minute or a 10-minute 2-mile, it's doing 400s at 74 seconds per rep with full recovery, and doing that about 4 days leading into your goal race. Just one last workout just to keep your legs feeling snappy, and getting that leg turnover. But again, in the last 2 weeks or the last 14 days leading into a big race, there isn't so much you can really do. Okay, you've done all the hard, heavy work. So be confident in your training. Be confident in how you've prepared in not only your physical training, but also your mental training, and also continue to remind yourself of all of the other things that you paid attention to during that build-up. Hydration, staying as relaxed as you can when you were running fast in the hard workouts, so that now you've done that, it's become more automatic. You can go into the race and let your competition stress out. Okay, we all are in control of what we tell ourselves. We're all also in control. We can constantly tell ourselves to relax. If you start feeling your shoulders rising up, just drop your shoulders, shake your arms out a little bit when you're in the race, and just do the very best you can to stay as relaxed as you can too. And continue to practice this. Even when you're starting a new build-up, when you're running easy, you're not building up a lot of lactic acid, so we can run for long periods of time, and be relatively relaxed. But still, we can feel ourselves getting tense, and constantly tell ourselves to relax, be confident. I'm confident, I'm in great shape, and do the same when you're running at faster paces. It's much more difficult then, so it takes practice, but constantly tell yourself that as well. So I hope this video helps, Dylan, in terms of some of the things, at least, that I was thinking over the years in the last 2 weeks of a big race, going into a big race. Really just focus on the things I've discussed in this video, and I really hope that you're going to continue to really get some great results by keeping these things in mind. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon, so when I make a new video, you'll be notified of it. Please like and share these videos. I really appreciate that. Comment below any questions or concerns you have. We'll definitely reach back out to you. I really appreciate that, and obviously with comments and likes or dislikes, all that stuff helps out the channel grow and helps the channel grow and more athletes around the world to see these videos. So I really appreciate all of my viewers, and I will talk to you all in the next video.